Oh,
We
wait a minute. I
talk
should.
about how could. Oh, here we're ready. We're on. We're
Yep,
live.
we're live.
Yeah.
Well,
Hello,
it's not.
everyone.
Hello.
Standard disclaimer: the spring
Hello.
is not intended for children. There may be harsh language and adult themes.
Okay.
Well, can't be much more, adult than just murdering someone in the middle of the street and then kidnapping a baby.
I caught just the last 5 minutes of that. Something about lighting the hay on fire and grabbing the baby from the manger because two of the guards were drunk.
Yeah.
Now, okay, that's New Testament based Dungeons and Dragons. Is that what that is, or?
Yeah, I ran the Journey of the Wise Man as if it was a D&D module.
Okay.
Sounds like that was fun. I wish I could have seen the whole thing, but yeah, I desperately needed some sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the
So I
feeling.
hope
I just.
everything ran smoothly while I was gone there.
Oh. Oh yeah. It ran as smoothly as any D&D game ever runs.
Okay, well, I went and laid down just as Hopswatch was taking
Yeah.
over, so, I missed you and Hops and Tea and Danish.
That sounds like breakfast.
Yeah.
I guess it does,
Ooh.
yes.
I knew I was forgetting something.
What, breakfast?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is going to be a short one. I'm only going to run here for an hour before X-Cloak Baby comes in.
Yeah.
Okay,
We,
then.
we had filled up all the time slots before, basically while she was asleep, we filled up all the time slots. So she came back and was disappointed that there wasn't a slot open for her. So
Well,
had
So-
to split my slot in half with her.
The magnanimous person you are, gave her some of your slot. That's
Well,
that's
I'll
pretty
be
good.
bringing another one at midnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so worried about being able to fill all the slots, and then after we finished, we wound up with three more people wanting to be involved that we didn't have spaces for.
Oh,
Well, I'm
my,
glad we
my,
did this
my.
because it's given me the chance to do my nails today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
yeah.
to think of it, I should actually do that. I haven't done my nails in ages.
And yeah, hold on a second.
Hey, Doc, sweetie, hi. And there's alias fake name. All the best people in town are coming by.
So I was wondering about Christmas traditions and stuff. What if we were to update Krampus to the 21st century?
Hmm.
What would Krampus be like?
Donald Trump.
Oh, so he would change hair color and skin color.
Serial philanderer. No, wait a minute. I did that at one time, and I'm not proud of it.
He'd have a really big
So,
ass. and
how do you
fat.
philander cereal?
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh, yeah, that's right. You could make Krampus into a breakfast cereal for kids.
Krampus
little-
Crunch.
I can see him
With-
doing that.
With little marshmallow figures of Krampus.
We got somebody else waiting here. Oh wait.
No, I was saying before we got
Hello,
on
Jake.
air. Hi, Kate.
Hello, Mary. I'm still not quite awake, miss.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you mean. I've only been awake for 15 minutes here.
So what's up? What's new? What's happening? Be interesting.
We were talking
Well,
about the Krampus.
Yeah, I don't know if it was went out on the air or not. Did I say that before we went on the air, or was that on the air? My aunt many years ago was telling stories about how Christmas
Hello, Hops.
was celebrated at Bob Condetko's house, and what she was describing, I found out much later, was Krampus, talking about the kids getting whipped before they got their presents and all this other shit. And it was like,
Yeah.
God, that's some sick shit.
Well, you can prevent Krampus if you do enough stretch, miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Krampus was never part of it when I was a kid. I didn't really
Or,
find out about that until I was older.
Or have your potassiumus.
Yeah. Well, I was raised by Krampus and Mrs. Krampus.
Yeah.
So that's another story entirely.
There was occasional mentions of Black Peter,
I
but he
Okay.
That's
wasn't.
racist.
Fill me in on Black Peter because
you're
I'm
right.
not sure I know about this one.
Well, basically, Black Peter was the antithesis of Santa Claus. That
Okay.
he was popular in Russia and a lot of the Slavic countries. That usually it was just about beating kids with a switch if they'd been naughty. But in the extreme cases, there were actually legends of him taking the naughty children in a bag and taking them home to eat them.
I'm confused. He would beat children with a Nintendo video game system.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was way ahead of his time there. Yeah.
Flinging those controllers around on the wires.
Hey, you could whip somebody with those wires pretty good, I'm sure.
I tell you, the Slavs are really sick when it comes to shit like that. I mean, think of Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga was a real bitch.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you if you lived in that fucked up house with chicken feet?
Pretty much. Oh my.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of twisted stuff out there that was intended for kids at some point. I mean, read original Hans Christian Andersen sometime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and the original versions of the Grimm's fairy tales did not
That was-
have happy endings.
Oh, Grimm's fairy tales are
basically they were all
fantastic.
they were all messages for the kids that if you go walking in the woods, something's going to eat you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I live in Denmark and basically lived here for all my life, and I am a Dane, I know about Hans Christian Andersen, but Grimm's fairy tales are much more, excuse me for the pun, grim.
Yes.
Have you
I was going to do that. So
Have
Yeah,
you
most
heard?
Americans
did.
are only familiar with the Disneyfied versions.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I understand. Yeah, the wee girl with the matches, she gets saved in the end and is adopted by a rich family or something like that. Is that correct?
With
I'm
matches?
sorry, which one?
The little match girl, I thought it ended
Uh-huh.
freezing to death.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the original version.
Well, it didn't like Cinderella's sisters or whatever try to cut off their toes to fit into
Yes.
their glass
Yeah.
slippers?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the.
I mean, that's some twisted shit right there.
Yeah.
that's
And,
grim. That's grim. That's not Anderson. Just so you know.
So-
Right.
Well,
and then you talk about Grimm. Wasn't Sleeping Beauty all about necrophilia?
And speaking of necrophilia, here's Orla.
Hi, sweetie.
And to be fair, we are
Cannibalism.
talking to someone who set the manger on fire and kidnapped the baby Jesus.
That's
Or,
also the juniper tree. The juniper tree by Grimm. That involves cannibalism.
Oh boy.
It's actually
Yum.
Yes. It's an absolutely fantastic story. I worked as a substitute teacher. I had a 4th grade class where I read The Juniper Tree. It was a huge success. You just see the children cringe like that.
Yeah,
It's a
Okay,
story.
There were quite a
Jen-
few of those fairy tales that involved cannibalism. I mean, everybody's familiar with Hansel and Gretel.
And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But she only intends to do that. The funny
just
thing
gonna-
about
And,
the juniper tree is that it's actually the children's father who gets his son served for him to eat after his evil stepmother chopped off his head after offering him an apple in a chest, where she slams the chest locked while he has his head inside to find the apple that she's allegedly offering him.
You know, if we brought these people forward in time to our time and showed them entertainment today, they'd probably think we're all just a bunch of pussies.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Okay,
You're probably right.
I want to pause for a minute and just acknowledge the people we've got in the side chat here. I see Steve Valman,
Yay.
Betty T in Danish, Pirate
Yay.
Kitty, Tony
Yay.
Design.
Yay.
Some of the people who watch
Actually,
us playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Titan Uranus. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
new here?
Everyone
just
who
real-
was in the Dungeons and Dragons, who's watching the Dungeons and Dragons stream, I'd like to thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't shout you out, but I was in the game.
Yeah,
That was a blast.
The moment may be lost, but now that I think about it, Clive Barker would probably tell Hans Christian Andersen and the Grimm's brothers to hold his beer.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And
Oh,
we've got Morton Nielsen. Jen Morgan had been in here, but yeah, she's has trouble.
Kind of fell off the
StreamYards
edge.
doesn't work well with the mobile device for her.
I'm wondering if that's the Morton Nilsson I was playing in a pipe, playing the pipes with. We were never in the same band, but
Yep. Be Melzebub and alias fake name, Critical Cripple,
Hey, Bob.
Hamable. Okay, and Art Against Ignorance. If you haven't heard it, Art Against Ignorance did an incredible rendering of the Christmas Carol I wrote, and also
I have to go and
also
listen to
filled
that.
in the last verse because mine felt kind of unfinished.
Yeah.
But I never imagined it could have sounded so good. I never, I'd had people sing it. I'd never heard it with a full instrumental behind it. Just sounds incredible. So I uploaded that to my channel the other night.
Yay. And Orla, I do want to
Shameless
thank you for the
self-plug.
little. There you go. I do want to thank you for the little Christmas present. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am
Oh, no, that's fine.
much appreciative thereof. I still have to put it away, but it's safely sitting in my PayPal account.
Yeah, Diane, I had a package here for you that I just didn't get sent out in time, so it's.
Don't worry about
arriving a
it.
bit
Yeah,
late.
it's if it gets here in June, that's fine. No problem.
Well, you'll probably get it by New Year's.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Oh my, it's it was a little short this time and a little difficult to send shit out and everything else. I used to make Christmas cards every year, or I should say have them printed, and the last couple of years have been a little short on cash and haven't been able to do that. I'd like to start that soon again. In other words, I'd like to be making a little bit of Patreon cash and everything. Do you hear that, people?
Yeah.
I could totally post my Amazon wish list in the chat, but I won't.
Aw.
Well, you can certainly put your channel link in the chat and people can find it that way.
Actually, I'm not sure I can. I don't think I have a wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, something would definitely be wrong with that if you don't have a wrench.
Yeah.
Purple, get on it.
Yeah, I just gotta find your name in the listing here. Oh, I guess you don't. I think something
horrible
got
person.
reset at some point that a lot of the people that I had given wrenches to didn't have them anymore.
That's weird. Does it auto reset or did you just do a mass culling?
No, it was something that that YouTube had done on their own, but that was also during that period while it was unsubscribing me to what a couple dozen people I knew I had subscribed to.
Yeah, YouTube is a pain in the butt from time to time.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Now
like
that you mention it, there's a couple of people in here who should have wrenches.
when my stream comes up, I almost never do streams at all. I've given nobody a wrench, so but that's just because lack of opportunity and I keep forgetting about it. So still looking forward to the stream. I maybe I'll do more of them in the future if this is fun.
Oh, yay.
And I might, if I can, I might drop in at the beginning to give my stream of my string of humorous logic about why Die Hard is the true meaning of Christmas, but I'll probably have to pass out.
Well,
Well,
wait
the-
a minute.
the
Now, Kate, you're
format-
doing your thing
Yeah.
of my
on the Christmas
stream.
films.
Okay, go,
Okay.
Kate.
Well,
Did I
the
just beat you
format
to
of
the
my
punch?
stream is just going to be that I'll give my reasons for both Die Hard and Gremlins, why they're Christmas movies, and then start bringing in guests.
Okay. But- So,
Yeah, I have to say this is the first time I've really had a chance to talk with Wondering and Hopswatch.
Yeah.
You know, we traded some messages on Twitter getting this set up, but that was about the extent of it until now.
Glad to be on this project. It's been a blast.
Well, you know, I'm just so glad that you guys, you know, stepped up and took some time to be involved with us. That's I guess Pirate Kitty found you two on Discord, or people I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah, well, I know Pirate Kitty from I wouldn't say way back. It's this year I got to know her after I launched my YouTube channel. I launched my YouTube channel in January, and sometime during the year I started playing Minecraft with Pirate Kitty. So that would be why she contacted me about this project. So I thought, yeah, sure, I'll jump in. I'm not doing very much on my channel. Apart from reviewing beers and the occasional anti-cult stuff, basically because I don't really have the time. I work full-time in a factory, but I thought this was an opportunity to actually do something on my channel. So it's not only something I do because I like the project. I do like the project, but of course it's also because to be absolutely honest, I can also promote my channel a wee bit.
Yeah, well,
So
that was
it's a
part of the
win-win.
idea, was just being a bunch of small channels, we could cross-promote each other.
Yeah. I'm all in for that.
Moo.
Yeah, my channel definitely needs more subscribers.
Well, Kate,
They always do,
you
right?
could quite likely be the biggest channel involved in this.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you know,
probably.
with a proper diet and exercise regimen, I could be a regular-sized channel in no time.
But I mean, you and Nacha are probably the best known names that we had in here.
I suppose that's possible. But I still think that my channel numbers should be at least 10 times what they are, but that's just me.
Yeah, I know you feel you've rather plateaued, that you haven't grown a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, what you gonna do?
Yeah, it's.
So how about that local sports team, huh?
And Bidity in Danish says there are 5 subscribers from reaching 50.
Oh my, oh my.
So,
Yeah, okay, that's where I thought you were. I thought you were around 25K, but then I'm thinking, no, or was she 14? No, just short of 25K. Yeah, that's many much people that do not know about the wonderfulness of Kate.
So, okay, what Tony Designs here says is, do you have a Discord server? I've been on Discord, and I have to admit, I don't really understand it, like the appeal of using it. It seems like an input overload. There's so many different like servers, and they all have different sub servers underneath
Yeah.
them, and you're getting notification sounds left and right, and you don't know where they're coming from. And I'm just like, what how the frig are you supposed to use this? Plus, it's not all that interesting because half the time nobody's there to respond to the crap you say.
Yeah.
What good is Discord? Maybe I just am using it wrong and my paradigm is fucked up, but I do not understand Discord.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm the same way. I've got a Discord server set up, and I have not figured out how to use it at all.
I'm
Yeah,
using
but-
it for one thing and one thing only. When I play online, typically Minecraft with people, that would be Pirate Kitty or my son, we communicate over Discord. So it's good for that.
Yeah, Math
But-
Pig was
but,
trying to teach me how to use it properly, and I'm just not really getting it.
Yeah, well, I am getting all kinds of notifications from there as well, and I pretty quickly stopped looking at them because I knew they were spam-like notifications. I don't look into the notifications neither, but I found this one good use for it. Hardly anything else. So I'm on board with the criticism. However, if you look closely, there is bits and pieces that you can use.
Well, I can kind of see how it has potential. I'm just, I'm confused because you wind up getting messages from just several unrelated sources at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the only reason
you've got to basically go in and set your notifications to like topic, like which notifications you want to see, like either if you want to see all of them in this thread, or if you want to see only ones that mention you, or none at all, is how you got to set it up.
Well, it doesn't help that when I went there, it was like, I don't know. I remember one of the first VR chat apps I was in, and everyone was like, "So, where are you from?
Yeah.
What are you like?" and stuff. And there were these long pauses of no one saying anything interesting, and it was like a bad blind date sort of situation. Like everyone, the one like speed dating or whatever, a singles bar kind of shit. Like no one knows what to say to anybody. And I was just like, where is the appeal of this? Why are so many people so freaking psycho over Discord? I don't get it. It's like, I mean, it's just IRC on steroids.
pretty much. I will be honest. The only reason I was on Discord was because Jeff used it for movie night notifications. We had the movie night channel, and everybody would get the film list and the join link and everything else from Discord. And it's really the only reason I was. I tried setting up a channel, but
Even with IRC, you were going into a chat room that supposedly you knew the theme when you were going in.
Yeah, it was usually in the title. Sometimes not, but
the problem with Discord is that you wind up, receiving messages from like several different rooms at the same time.
ICQ. Oh my word!
Yeah,
that's
I'd forgotten
a while
about
back.
that one.
Did anyone ever use YTalk?
No.
that was peer to peer, and it was you had to know the address and everything. We're talking about the what is it? The UUCP address rather than the URL.
I remember when I was in high school, there was this one. It was a BBS. It was a dial-up BBS, and it had a chat function, and 4 people could be in there at once, maximum. And it would kick you out after about 30 minutes because they wanted to let someone else in. So when you'd get kicked out, you'd frantically redial so you could get back in the chat before someone else got there. It was, man, memories,
Yeah.
Oh my.
I actually met my fiance through an online chat room. So.
And she turned out to actually look like her picture, I take it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna back out because I need to get the ham ready for Christmas dinner.
Oh, okay.
Sounds awesome.
Eating
All right. Well,
someone
thanks
who
for taking a
overacts.
shift.
Bon appetit. Mon ami.
I said you're eating someone who overacts.
Yes.
Well, come to think of it, I don't see Math Pig around.
Oops.
I don't know what's a ham go for these days. I haven't bought a ham in so long.
Well, I think
during
Jim
the holiday
Carrey's last
season, we
roll
were
was
seeing
$5
them around
million.
$2
But
a pound.
Say again, hon.
During the holiday season, we were able to get some for about $2 a pound.
Oy vey.
Not bad.
A
I
little
have
rich.
some prepackaged ham slices in the fridge. They weren't very expensive.
Okay. Oh, Stephen. Oh, my brisket. I love brisket. I just can't afford it, man.
Until quite recently, I'd never had brisket, but I was curious after binge watching The Big Bang Theory. And I tried it, and I don't know what's so special about it. It's not bad. It's not remarkable. I don't know.
So I'm just googling brisket.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's just it's more a traditional thing,
Mm.
especially for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Jewish people.
Well, but I mean, Wolowitz was always saying, "Oh, she makes it so it melts in your mouth and all this stuff." And I was like,
Yeah.
I am so curious about this dish, but it was just
Oh, and there's
beef.
Fire Kitty.
Hello.
Brisket.
All
Hello.
right,
Hi.
yo ho ho, and all that.
Well, brisket was a traditional Jewish dish because it was one of the cheaper cuts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not so much anymore, for Christ's sake. You go to the supermarket for a brisket and they want all kinds of dollars.
Yep.
Because I bought a brisket back this past summer. First time I bought one in quite a while. And God, they wanted, what, $4 a pound or some shit like that?
Well, that's like, now you can get chicken breasts like really cheap. And it's like that was, like the prime cut from the chicken before. And buffalo wings happened because they were the bits left over that nobody wanted to eat.
Right, right.
But now buffalo wings have gotten so popular that the wings are what's expensive and the breast meat is what's cheap.
Which is
Well, the
fine
same
for
thing
me.
happened to coffee, really, when Starbucks hit, and everyone was like, "Ooh, coffee, coffee, coffee!" What used to be like 50 cents a cup is now $6.
Yeah.
And I
mean,
don't
you can still
understand
get it.
because Starbucks is disgusting. They roast it too long and it's bitter. That's why you have to put like 18 sugars in it for it to be bearable.
Well, that's how I feel about all
Okay.
coffee. But like there's a thing I really want to do, and I think I need an accomplice to do it. The Starbucks app for your phone lets you put in any name you want. Now there's a character limit, so you can't go nuts. But you can I want to put in stuff like death or glory. So when they say vanilla latte for death or glory, or put in like for the hell of it, vanilla latte for the hell of it, that kind of thing, just to make them say it,
There you go. There you go.
and I need someone to film it because that's the sort of thing that gets a gajillion views on YouTube.
Yeah,
There you
it
are.
would.
And Glober Mom, you say you bought a spiraled ham for around $14. Is that $14 for the ham or per pound?
That's probably for the whole ham. You can get ham right about now, like around this time, for like 98 cents a pound.
Yeah, but they charge extra for spiral cutting, remember?
Maybe a little bit. Probably I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't buy the ham this year. My sister did.
No, yeah, even
Oh,
what we had
man.
was a spiral cut one that was, only a little over $2 a pound.
For a decent sized ham, 14 wouldn't be all that bad. I used to get cheap ham sections for like 79 cents, 99 cents a pound. Can't do that anymore. Because I would stock up on like the shank or whatever you want to call it, or the shoulder. That stuff is great in like lentil soup
Yeah.
or pea soup or that sort of
Oh,
thing. Just
I
cut
love
it
a
up,
good
throw the
pea
bone. Oh man,
It-
come on
it-
over.
Well,
It's
you
one
can
of the
have
few-
mine.
It's one of the few positive associations I have with my father.
Okay, come
was
on,
that,
come on
yeah,
over. I haven't
taking
made
that
I
he
haven't
would,
made one in a
like
while.
simmer the ham bone all day before putting anything else in.
Nice, nice. And what I would do is I would be generous and leave a good bit of meat on the damn bone.
Yep.
Well, I would be buying the ham just for seasoning, and then of course I'd end up eating it anyway. But
Oh no.
I think I'll have a little bit of ham. So you cut a little bit off the, and before you know it, there's nothing left.
Yeah, we'd go through the ham as just part of the whole general open house thing on Christmas Eve, and
Oh,
then the
Glober
ham
Mom.
bone would simmer all day on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I am familiar with one of those. Yeah, we have one of those across the street, the bag it yourself stores, and they prices are a little better than at the Giant Eagle. They're a lot better than at the Giant Eagle, but that's another story. But anymore, yeah, the ham prices have been going up. They're about double now what they were last year, and
Yeah,
Maybe
People are
I'm just
talking
not
about the
familiar
bag
with
it
the
yourself
term.
store.
Yeah, what is that?
What is Switch
A
Hunt?
bag it yourself store.
There are no bag checkers at the aisles. So you at the one I go to, you have your cart and you put the stuff on the belt, and as the lady or the guy or whatever checks the stuff, to put it into another cart, and
Yeah.
then you just wheel this cart away and you pack the food yourself into boxes and bags, and you put it
Oh,
in your car, or
Yeah,
you
well,
strap it to your back, or whatever.
when I lived in Minnesota, that was so common that when I moved to New York, it really threw me off that somebody else was bagging the groceries because it had been like 15, 20 years since I'd had anybody bag my groceries.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
I
understand.
mean,
I don't understand why they have to do it like that. It's like I know that there are places they don't have bagging people. The cashier just bags it while you work while they're going.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like
Giant Eagle does that.
why
well,
can't places like Aldi just do that? Why do they have to just slide it down and make you deal with it?
well, I mean, I like to use the self checkout thing, and don't get me started on why you're wrong that it kills jobs. But like I always bring a backpack rather than using the plastic bags. I mean, number one, they charge you for plastic bags. Number two, it's bad for the environment and all that stuff. So I just put everything in my backpack.
Yeah.
But the funny part about that is, I mean, they encourage you to bring your own bag, but there's a sign on the front of the store that says leave your backpacks with like the front desk or something,
Yeah.
because they want you to buy their store brand bag. Right, like they have canvas bags specifically for their store, and they want you to buy
Yeah.
that to use it instead of your own bag from home. But no one's ever given me shit for bringing my backpack into the store.
Do you
So
No,
need me to
nobody
go turn
gives
it
me
off?
crap either. Well, my backpack is
Oh.
my purse. So, or my purse is my backpack. Let's put it that way. And I will have a canvas bag in the backpack, or possibly two if I'm going to go for a large load. And then I'll just wear the backpack up to the grocery store, set it over on the side where they want you to set things, and get everything, and then pull the bags out of the backpack, and everything's fine.
and when people said bag it yourself, I was picturing the self checkout thing.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
think
okay.
it's weird. See, I work for Walmart,
I
so
am
it's
so
like
sorry.
there's like the self checkout. You don't pay for your bags. I mean, unless you're going to buy the dollar reusable bags that are the equivalent of 3 regular plastic bags. But like, the bags are there. You just use them.
Well, I think it
Yeah.
might be like a California law or
Oh,
something.
that's true.
If you get a plastic bag, it's like 10 cents a pop.
I keep
Like when
forgetting
you
Yeah,
use
you're
the
okay.
self
in
checkout, it literally
California.
says how many bags do you want to buy. Like that's an option you have to press on the
Yeah.
screen.
Well, that's the same thing at the place I go to, the self bagging grocery store. They have if you've ever heard of the chain called Save a Lot, that's the
Mm-mm.
one. It's
Yeah.
out of Missouri, I think.
We have
Uh,
Aldi's.
I know about Aldi.
Yeah, we've got Aldi's and Save a Lot in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
The thing I
Aldi
like
is
about-
pretty nice.
The thing I like about Aldi's is not necessarily the bagging and all that, but it's you can find some really weird shit in there.
Yeah.
Not like the strange
Yeah.
cookies you've never seen before that are absolutely delicious, but you wouldn't find them at a regular grocery store because they're like imported from Germany or something. And they're still cheap.
Stroopwafels.
And then there's the
Stroopwafels,
other stuff.
However the fuck you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Oh, you
compelled
can get those at
unbeliever.
Walmart now.
Hey, David.
Well, you can't get them
Hi,
at
sweetie.
Ralph's.
Uh,
Although there's a Trader Joe's right next to Ralph's that has them, but you can't get them at Ralph's.
Well, the other thing about Aldi that impressed me is you go in there looking for some groceries, and you'll also find the grill upon which to prepare the ribs that you're buying there. And it's like, okay, I never saw a grocery with housewares and stuff like that before.
Yeah,
But,
Titan Uranus says I've never used a self checkout without running into a problem that required an employee to come and help anyway.
So
Well,
I
Yeah,
then
can
well,
you're
give
that's-
you,
doing it wrong
I can
because
give you a
I've
tip.
needed, like, the only time I've needed an employee to help me out is if I rang something, like, if it was my fault, I fucked up. You know, it's like I've never really had one of them go haywire on me without
Oh.
my consent.
I've run into that quite a lot, either because things won't scan, or like if I've done it at Walmart, there always winds up being at least one item, cough syrup or something, that I need to do an age check on.
Well,
Oh, yeah, you're not
tell
allowed to
you-
buy booze at the self checkout, that sort of thing.
I can tell you a secret for the self checkout machines. The
Hmm?
pay button or the light that goes around the scanners. If you scan something, if you walk up to the machine, watch what's going on. If there's a light that's blinking, and then you scan and that light stops blinking, you want to bag your item and don't move it until that light starts blinking again, because that means the system is ready for the next item. What I've seen happen is this is specifically with Walmart, is the pay button will blink when it's ready. And if you scan an item and bag it and remove it before that blinking light starts blinking again, the system hasn't registered that the item has been on the scale, and it thinks, hey, you've scanned something but you haven't bagged it, or you've put something in the bagging area that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It's too complicated.
I've
man.
never run into that problem, but then again, I don't shop at Walmart.
Yeah, well, Walmart, first of all, Walmart, the bags they give you are absolute crap, and most of them don't even make as far as the car without having holes in them.
Trying to think if
Well,
I've
that's
ever
because
even
you're a
been
bad
in a
bagger.
Walmart.
I've been lucky with Walmart bags. I walk almost a mile to get home, and they usually make it.
They just seem such thin plastic and
Oh.
poorly seen. But
It is.
Well,
It is a
you,
thin
you, you
plastic.
know the lo-
Diana, where do you buy kitty litter?
I get the kitty litter at the local shop and save. The bag at yourself
Okay.
grocery store.
So
I'll
not
get.
where you have to walk a mile.
Oh,
No, I walk about a mile to get to that grocery store as well.
Oh, because I mean,
that-
I live blocks from my supermarket, and like the container of kitty litter practically rips my shoulder out. Even
Yeah,
just
that's-
walking that many blocks, so I can't picture walking a mile carrying kitty litter.
That is all I will get on a trip like that, unless I have a couple small things to put in the backpack. And the container has a fairly nice handle. It's 14 pounds,
oh,
so it's not that bad. It's bad enough. I mean, I cannot get two of them. I can't do it.
I
I'm
actually
old.
think it might be easier to carry it like a baby rather than by the handle.
Okay.
so
yeah, I'll be right back. I'll show you what we're dealing with here. Okay, get this out of here.
just say, and that's the kind of thing where like now I want to get her wish list and buy her one of those folding wagons. You know,
Yep.
because I want to get one of those soonish for myself, because my boyfriend walks with a cane, and so whenever we go to do something, I'm carrying the cooler and both of the chairs and everything, because he can't carry much walking with a cane.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're dealing with.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
I have
Okay.
something like that, except it's maybe a third again as tall.
Yeah, so you're probably getting
Okay.
the 20-pound jug.
Yeah, that's 14 pounds of cat toilet in there, and I'll go through. If I do it right, I can go through about 3 in a month. Yeah, when this one takes a shit, she takes a shit.
Pirate Kitty, are you trying to share something?
Yeah,
And then,
We
the
need it.
other one is if the cat box is not to her liking,
Oh, yeah.
she'll crap on the bath mat. Oh, I used to have something similar to that. I actually had a little red wagon. This I might not mind. Does that actually fold up?
yep. Let me see.
Oh, that would be perfect because I actually had a wagon.
There it is, all folded up,
Oh shit! I think I want one of those.
and it's only
I-
$40.
Yeah, I see the price on it. No, I had no place to keep this thing because it was, a middle wagon,
Yeah,
and
the folding one.
it was hard to store, especially in a HUD apartment where you've got maybe 500 square feet or
Yeah,
520
very
square feet to live
limited
in.
space and
Yeah,
not much closet.
closet. What the hell is that, man? Well, you know what the place looks like. Oh man, no, it's home. I don't have that many
Suppose it is
complaints
a
with
place
it.
you hide from the neighbors.
Oh man, yeah. For me, hiding from the neighbors is not that difficult, unless somebody calls the cops on them. Because I'll hear occasionally, the familiar sound of a cop on the radio. Well, actually, two or three of them come down at a time. Because somebody decides they have a fight or some shit like that. No shots have been fired in the 2 years I've lived here, so that's good.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, we've just had a couple of cases of drunk neighbors that have been a problem. One of them got off the elevator on the wrong floor and walked into Soft Girl's apartment and got all upset with her about being in there because she didn't realize she was in the wrong apartment.
Well, whoa! How did he get into her apartment? Does she not have the habit that I have, where I get into the apartment and part of the motion of closing the door is throwing the deadbolt?
She's gotten better about that now, but yeah, it's something that she was a little sloppy with.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're a woman living alone, you want to have that door locked. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
My,
again,
my habit, I lock a door pretty much automatically
yeah,
just when I walk in. Although it's probably not that important where I live now because there's also a gate people would have to get past. So unless one of my neighbors is going to feel frisky,
Yeah.
I'm not all that worried.
well, and that was the
still.
thing here, that it is a security
course,
building.
I'm
Nobody
sorry.
gets in the front door without a resident letting them in.
Which in a
Well,
way,
same
in my
here,
place,
but-
is almost a little disappointing because I would love to rip a new one out of a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness or some shit, but it doesn't happen because they can't get in that front gate. So,
Well, the problem
Anyway.
over here is we've got the security doors, but everybody gets in anyway because the residents either prop the door open or they have stuff jammed into where the hinges are, and they've actually broken the damn door in this building. So I have to go through the extra motion of closing the door and making sure it's latched every time I go by. and the number of times that this door is open, okay, I know, but I suspect that somebody is conducting business out of their apartment. Okay, whatever it may be. Well, I know that in one of the apartments upstairs, someone was turning tricks at one point. That's how the maintenance guy got fired, because he was availing himself of this person.
well,
Yeah.
funny you should mention. I just saw this thing that the Democrat candidate Andrew Yang just said he wants to decriminalize sex work, at least at the point of the seller, not the buyer necessarily, which I think is really odd. But he wants to make it so that hookers can't be arrested for being hookers.
Yeah,
That's not a bad thing.
No, I agree, but it was relevant because I heard it yesterday, and you just started talking
Well,
about turning tricks.
That's the system. That's the system that they have in Sweden as well.
I've heard it
Sounds like
doesn't work too well, somewhat.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
know.
if you're
I mean-
still criminalizing it on the buyer's part, you still got a problem. That's the problem
Well,
we have
yeah.
in Michigan. That it's legal
Just
now to
decriminalize
smoke
it.
weed up here, but it's still illegal to buy or sell it. So it's like if it somehow miraculously appears in your apartment, you can smoke it, but you've got no way to
Well,
obtain it.
And
Okay,
you
I
cannot
think
import
it's
it
still
either, can
legal
you?
to transport it over state lines. But I suppose if someone went to California or Colorado, bought a bunch, and managed to get home with it, and no one was the wiser, that's one way to smoke it if you want it.
Yeah, but like you say, it's a federal offense to transport it across state lines.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna jump out. I've got things to take care of.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
Well, take care,
Okay.
hon.
Thanks for helping out.
Yeah,
Don't
no
get
problem.
run over.
I'll see if I can avoid that. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Take care, sweetie.
Yep.
Oh, boy, moi. Oh, my, it's almost the end of your hour, sweetness.
Yeah, well, an hour is a pretty short one, but yeah.
Yeah, isn't it, though? It's amazing how short an hour can be on the air and how long an hour can be on the air if you're trying to run the show solo. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you got a couple of good people to talk to, it flies by.
Yeah.
This
Like,
is
I
why
forget
I
his
love
name
having
now,
Kate.
but the second dude who did a stream like after the first one for this hadn't planned on having 20 people watching him.
Yeah,
and
Dallas
didn't really know
Wade.
what to
Poor
do.
Dallas. He
Yeah.
did okay. He
Oh,
he has
sure.
a nice voice, so he was easy to listen to.
Yeah,
know.
but I bet he felt like it was taking ages for it to be over.
Well, he
Oh,
had
my,
never really
yeah.
done live streams before. He just did
Yeah.
edited videos.
Yeah.
I mean, well, this is why I dearly love having you on the show, Kate. I mean, thank you for coming by all the time. Because to have you around to talk with and to converse,
Yeah.
that makes the show go that much easier. And plus, you're such a wonderful person to have around anyway. I mean,
Oh, stop that! Not everyone
Gush,
agrees with
gush,
you.
gush, gush.
But I mean, it makes sense though, because some of the most successful radio shows, for example, will have a co-host.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't remember anyone's names, but I'm pretty sure Howard Stern had a sidekick, and
Yeah, Howard
other
Stern had a woman, Robin, that was always working with
That's
him.
the name.
Yeah.
Think of Bob and Ray,
Who?
the radio comedians.
Yeah.
You'll have
Well,
to be a lot
yeah,
more
just-
specific than that.
Most of the, like morning DJs and the rush hour DJs that, usually there's a team of two of them to banter back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the way the morning show would work out here when WDVE was actually a thing.
Yeah, so
Um,
Kate certainly keeps things lively.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't wind
Well,
up
Like I said, I
definitely.
love having you. I really
Yeah,
do.
you don't wind up with long, uncomfortable silences.
Because when I started out, the first 3 or 4 shows, I was trying to run solo. And it's like, it's only 4 minutes have passed. Oh, God, please.
The weird thing is, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever how I ever learned of your existence.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
No, do you remember the Godless Iowan?
sure. Yeah.
He introduced us.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because he had that show going that was called Transatlantic Atheist Alliance.
Okay.
It was the Iowan. It was Snarky. It was Demi, and it was me. There was one June that I had to take off because I was at Pride with a friend. You filled in for me that month, and then in July, Demi had to take off for whatever reason. You filled in for Demi, and I got to meet you there, and the rest is history.
Godless Iowan. That's the one who's Maddie now. Just
Yes,
Maddie.
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. I have been blocked by this person because
So
I
have
was
I.
not immediately 100% supportive. In fact, a tiny smidge critical of Essence of Thought.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man,
Yeah,
when I
Let's
when I
not
hosted-
do that. Let's not talk about
Okay.
Yeah.
It's history. It's
it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well,
think I'm
it is
unblocked
history
by
for
him
me
now.
because Snarky was the first person to ever block me.
Yeah, I think I'm still blocked by Snarky, but I think Maddie unblocked me at one
Yeah,
point.
well, and it
Maddie-
was really strange because Snarky was also the first person I ever did a collab with.
it seems that what Maddie does is he blocks in order to like defend to protect himself from overexposure, and then he unblocks later. And I'm personally not cool with that way of doing it. If you're gonna block me, that's fine, block me.
Yeah, just
But
do
don't
it.
unblock me and block me and unblock me and block me. So it's
Because that sort of behavior is too much like S.J. Thomason,
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
will block you to, do this whole point about, oh, I'm going to block this person because this person is so terrible. And then, when it dies down, she'll unblock you and wait for you to say something that she'll block you for again.
Yeah.
Well, my personal policy on blocking or not blocking people really just comes down to how personally insulting you get. Like if you're not even addressing my argument, if you're just calling me names or insulting my face or my hair or whatever, and that's all you do on my channel, gone, right?
I
But
don't
if you
block until
disagree
block.
with me, on the other hand, I'm like, well, maybe you're being a jerk about it, but whatever, you're still on topic. So
I don't understand the people who block because they don't agree with you. I've had that happen to me a couple of times in the last week. One of SJ's sycophants who was insisting that humans are not apes decided to block me because I was making sense. And it's like, okay, if you're protecting yourself from this information, it's stupid, but do whatever you'll do.
Now there's some people that use blocking like I'm not interested in this issue, so I'm gonna block everybody involved, and I can actually be cool with that as long as you're not talking about that issue from behind the block. It's like if Bionic Ant and I are beefing, and I say something shitty about her, and you come and Diana, you come to her defense, and I'm like, no, and then I block you, but then I keep talking poop about Kate. It's like it's
that's bullshit. Yes, it is.
And my thing so far has been, if you block me, I will block you back. I don't see your stuff, you don't see my stuff, because you can block somebody and still see their, like, if I block Kate.
Well, yeah, you
can
have
still
that
go
thing.
and
It
see her
says,
thing.
this is a person behind a block that you still want to see it. You can
Yeah, and I don't really like the idea
post by post look at it. Yeah.
of me not being able to see what you say, but you being able to see what I say.
Mhm,
So it's like
mhm. Well, if you
block should work
block me,
both ways.
if you block me, I can see what you say.
Yeah, there's ways.
It's called a private window.
you
Right.
just can't.
I
like
do
with
know
your
what they
rebuttal
are.
Yeah.
is the
Say again.
thing. But you just
Yeah.
can't give your rebuttal is the thing.
Right.
But all
Yeah.
you really
Well,
need to do is
there are
create a new
ways to-
account anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was headed. Yeah, just create
Well,
another
no, you
account and
see,
go
but that's
for
the
it.
thing. If you create a new account that's block evasion, and that can get you permanently banned on your main account too. From what I've heard.
Well, it's
I don't
technically
have more than
it's
3
technically
accounts to
innovation,
spy on
yes.
people.
Oh no, spying is completely fine. You're not talking to
Mhm. And then the other thing, if you're going to respond, you just do your best to make sure you're not obvious about it. I mean, very, very, very rarely is there a case where I would feel the need to evade a ban in order to respond to somebody.
Well, there was a situation a while back. I don't know how many of you remember my little dust up with Steve McRae. Now, there was a guy, I wish I could remember his name, who decided to have a moderated discussion, first with him on one night, then with me on the next night. And I figured it would be respectful to let Steve McRae, as much as I dislike him, have his say without my wigging out in the chat about it. So I watched the stream, but I didn't say anything until it was my night. Now, I did not get the same respect from Steve McRae. On my night, he kept blathering in the chat, and the dude hosting was like, oh, do you want to hear what Steve McRae had to say in the chat? And I'm like, no. I'm having my say now. This is not a debate between me and him. This is my time to state my position. I didn't interact with him on his night specifically so he could have that opportunity as well, and he doesn't get to usurp the attention now.
Now,
he doesn't get to dictate the message now.
Okay, well,
this is not the particular show in which you had a seizure on air and
No, this was
McRae
about this was about that.
okay,
um,
okay.
But
I just wanted
that's
to
the
get
thing,
to
is, like,
yeah.
I mean, 'cause we're talking about blocking people and talking about them behind their back and all that stuff. This is not exactly equivalent, but I do think that there is a certain amount of respect that people should be afforded, even when you fucking hate their guts.
Oh
So-
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm with you.
well,
Purple.
there's definitely
So
more to
is
say
that
on the
why you
subject.
put up with me?
Diana.
We have
Listen.
run out of time here, and
Aw.
Ex-Cult Baby's only got an hour, so I don't want to be cutting into her time.
Sorry.
So, just standard run around. Anybody have anything they want to plug before we sign off here?
Not me.
Yeah.
I have some USB cords that aren't used. I'll plug those.
And everybody in the side chat, subscribe to Kate's channel, watch everything Kate has to do, and all that good stuff. She's fantastic. You've got to see just how fantastic she is. Yeah, I'm not biased.
And if you,
No.
if you haven't seen her animation work, she puts out some really incredible
Yeah,
stuff there.
yeah.
Shucks. So who's next?
Ex-Cult Baby is set up to start next year.
Okay,
So I'm
cool.
just
boy.
dropping her link in the YouTube chat.
I was just heading there to have a look. Yeah. Oh, okay. She's using Zoom, so I'll have to go over to the Windows system. Okay. At least I know ahead of time. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Man, what is
Yeah, and
up
she's-
with
she's
Zoom? Every
already
time I
running
try to
there,
use
so-
it, they make me download the app again.
Yeah, I see she's
Oh,
already
really?
running, so we're gonna stop here and let
Okay.
her have her
Bye-bye.
time. And I'll be back here again in 12 hours.
Oh my, you're just running yourself ragged, sweetie.
Okay. We'll catch y'all later.
All right, hon. Take care, everybody.
See you later.
See you on the other side.